Welcome to BRC TV. We're back racing at Eagle Farm on Saturday for the Tattersalls Racing Club, and we'll preview that meeting a little later. But first, let's look ahead to the big country music weekend at Doomben. Some of Queensland's best horses stepped out in a star-studded trial at Doomben on Tuesday. We were there to catch all the action. Rob Heathcote, Rothfire's second trial today. Didn't run the same time, wasn't asked to run the same time today, but you're just as happy?
More than happy. He's ticked all the boxes there today. It was a quality field of stakes class horses, Group 1s and Group 2s, Group 3s, the whole lot were there. He's ticked the box, but I'm perhaps more enthused by the comments of Ben Thompson when he came in. He said he did it all under his own steam. He blew him a kiss on the home turn, and he said he just grabbed that steel and there was nothing going to get past him.
As you said, it's good benchmarks there today. Jonker was dual Group 1 placed last preparation, so that gives you a better barometer of where you're at.
Oh, look, I've had no doubt coming into both of these trials, Nathan, that the horse is a genuine Group 1 horse. I believe he's improved ability and class-wise. The doubt, of course, exists because he's had a serious orthopaedic injury. If he's come through that and recovered, I've got no doubt he can win the Everest.
You're known as a super salesman. You're making pitches out there to slot holders?
Oh yes, but I'm also a realist. I think you have to be in this game. There's no doubt slot holders are going to be keen to look at Rothfire for the Everest, but they've got to ensure that he's sound, fit, healthy, and he's in good form. If I owned a slot, I'd wait for the shorts. But they might be smart and lock me in before the shorts.
Ben Thompson, you had the best seat in the house again this morning aboard Rothfire. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I think last time I said it was a lot of fun, and it was that again. He's the ultimate professional and supreme competitor. He thrives off competition, and he does all of his fast work pretty much on his own. We know what he's like when you put him with a mate, but he ticked the boxes again today. Couldn't have tried any better, and all perfect now, heading to his first up run.
You've been riding his fast work in between the two trials. Tell us from that first trial to today, much difference? Has he come on from that?
It was probably the week before his first trial. He galloped in company the Wednesday before that Tuesday, and that's when I sort of really got to see, the real Rothfire. Having not ridden him, in his previous prep, he well and truly switched on his last trial, and even sort of leading up to today, I've ridden him in 3 pieces of fast work, and he's been on the job, nice and controlled ever since. Even today, he's was more so just harnessing him. The 500, I gave him a little bit of rein and gave him time to balance up, and then his last furlong was again just sort of on his own terms. So perfect, and again solid opposition. It's obviously a great guide for Rob and the connections.
Tony Gollan, we saw Jonker back for the first time since Stradbroke's season in his trial this morning. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Clearly, Rothfire and him in the same heat. I didn't really feel any need for them to be racing each other. I just felt it was just important that he had a nice little blowout today before he heads away down south to start his spring mission. He did everything I'd asked. Been super happy with his preparation. He had a jump out here a couple of weeks ago, and he's improved nicely into this, and there's good improvement still to come.
Dual Group 1 placed last preparation. The obvious goal is to win a Group 1 with him in terms of him still being a stallion.
Yeah, definitely. It sounds easy, doesn't it? But it's not. So, but I'm really pleased with him. I'd say I'd be as happy with him or happier going into this than what I have any time previously. It's only the third sort of real prep that we've had him. Probably getting to know him a little bit better each time, and I'm very comfortable with where he's at.
Tell us about blinkers, how he can just work like a really average horse without him, but they switch him on when you put them on.
Yeah, he's just a really relaxed horse. His father was very similar, to be honest. He wore winkers and blinkers different times of his career, so he's just a relaxed animal, does whatever you kind of want. He's a big difference in the blinkers. You saw the other day without them, he just sort of floats around and just enjoys himself, and as soon as you put them on, he knows that we're here to do a little bit more than what he was without them. So it's just a nice piece of gear for him.
Jimmy Byrne, we had our first look at Jonker publicly this morning since the Kingsford Smith Cup. He looked like he just gave him a nice time out there.
Yeah, look, obviously we had Rothfire. It was a pretty hot trial that, and they were going a little bit slower for those sort of horses early, so he was on the bridle. But I was really pleased with the way he went through. He pulled up really good, very clean in his wins. So onward and upward with him.
Where is he at in terms of his preparation? Still a lot more improvement to come from him yet?
Oh, without a doubt. We gave him a jump out a couple of weeks ago, and he was very clean in his jump out. Again, no blinkers, and when he's got no blinkers he'd work with a maiden and they'd probably beat him. So today the blinkers went on and he was very switched on. He's in a really good space, so I think he's going to have a really good time with it.
Also at Doomben on Tuesday, we had the first official 2-year-old trial of the new season. Les Ross is a trainer that we've become accustomed to sending out his horses early before Christmas, and we spoke to him about having 4 of the 5 runners in the trial. Les Ross, we've become accustomed to you sending out these 2-year-olds early in the season. The first official trial at Doomben here on Wednesday, you had 4 of the 5 runners. You were able to win it with Mashani Jewel. You do like to get your horses up running nice and early?
Yeah, well, it helps, I think, Nathan. The big money is in the 2-year-old and 3-year-olds, and fortunate enough for me, I trained for Mike Crooks, who's got a lot of them, and he's entrusted me with about 30 this year.
You won, I think, the Pat O'Shea you won last year early on in the season, and then you loved seeing those QTIS bonuses come through.
Yeah, well, 79,000 for the fillies, and I think it's 64 for the geldings, but I didn't win as many as I'd like last year, but I managed to win more than the average.
What sort of a team have you put together for this year?
This year's probably the strongest I've had. Like every year we've been getting a little bit better, and the horses, when I say that, I don't know whether they're the fastest ones because this was the first time we let the horses go today, but we've educated 30 of them, and we're hoping to have 2 in most of the 2-year-old races for the year.
So of those 30, how many do you think might race before Christmas?
Oh, if I had my way, 25 of them, but Mike is a little bit reserved. He keeps a few for the 3-year-olds, and they hurt themselves along the way, and they go shinny, and all sorts of things happen. So, but last year I think we had a couple of races with 5 runners in each of them. This year we've elected to just have 2 in each race, and hopefully we can keep them running all year.
So what are you hoping to see from them when you send them out in these trials?
Well, I never used to like winning trials because when you win a trial you lose your price, but nowadays if you don't win the trials you don't get in town, so they can ballot you out. So I'd like them to go out there, do everything right, and we need a winner in every time we step out. We need one of them to win, and hopefully that'll assure us a start here in the early 2-year-old races.
We welcome Bart now, and before we get to the tips for this weekend, Bart, a ripper trial there at Doomben on Tuesday. What did you make of Rothfire and Jonker?
Well, Rothfire I thought was just fantastic because he settled. They sort of teach him to relax a little bit. He didn't run the same time as he did in the previous set of trials, but I thought it was perfect, and Jonker did what you'd expect him to do too. I think both are really headed the right way. Yeah,
Jonker probably tackling a lesser target first up than what Rothfire is diving into the deep end there.
Good test for Rothfire in a couple of weeks, big test.
Eagle Farm on Saturday, not big fields, but hopefully that thins it out, certainly for you anyway, in terms of finding a winner or 2. Where are we going first up?
Well, first a little homily, Nathan. I just want
Another
to explain a little bit something to you. When you were young and single and one day you were the star of the dancers up there.
To grade 6 I was.
If you met a girl and you hit it off with her and liked dancing with her, well, you didn't drop her the next week. So Jasui Bell did the job for us last time. Why wouldn't I stick with her again? She's got one alley. I just think that she's got going to get straight out, either lead or box seat, and I think she's going terrific this campaign.
I will agree. She was pretty dominant in that race last time. So where do we go next?
I like Adelaide. So I think last start Barnum just had the drop on him. It looked to be as though she was travelling smoothly in front, but she was attacked eyeball by another runner, and then 2 others came up. So Adelaide was working from the 600 metres. They had a good fight at the finish. I just fancy that Adelaide this time might turn the table.
Barnum was going to beat her pretty convincingly, but she certainly made him work for it.
Terrific battle the last 200 metres. There was nothing much in it, and probably not going to be much again.
All right, let's round out a trio of winners. What's the last one?
Genzai the Wolf loves Eagle Farm. He's performed well here every time. He's a pretty consistent horse, and he drops 5 kilos on his last run here, which was sound, and I just think he's going to get a good run just off the speed and be pretty hard to hold out.
All right, we've got the 9 races here at Eagle Farm on Saturday for Tattersalls, but also the highlight, I suppose, from a Brisbane Carnival point of view, the return of Zaki in Sydney, so very much looking forward to that.
There seems to be good reports coming through on his progress, so I think it'll be a bold run first up.
Hopefully he can continue the good record of horses coming out of Stradbroke season there on Saturday.